Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well. Uh, Hope you're all in a good space, um, ready to accept a video offering from a humble video offering from yours truly. Um, so today, in this offering, I thought I'd speak about a topic that I did not intentionally think I would be speaking about. I owe the topic to Nihad, who is a follower on Instagram. So shukran, ya Nihad, for helping create this particular offering. So the post I had on Instagram was soon after I visited a local barber in Dubai, and the barber asked me, and many barbers do actually. They say, "Oh, do you want us to dye your white the white parts of your beard, along with your haircut as well? Do you want a hair dye?" And my answer was an immediate no. I actually want this. I actually like this. I like the whiteness of it. And of course, this is no disrespect to people that do dye their beard or the whole concept of dyeing white hair. But after I posted that, I had a number of really interesting posts, and it was all around the theme of how we look upon as a society and as individuals living in a society, how we look upon the process of natural aging. I am, last time I checked, at least 45 years old. And when I look at pictures of when I was younger, early 20s, 30s, mid 30s, to be honest, up until pretty much very close to now, when I look at those pictures, and I don't know what you think to yourself when you look at your pictures, if you are roughly my age, what the person that you look at, the face. I don't know what you think and feel, but when I look at those old pictures of myself, I just look at a very misplaced individual. My face, up until recently, to be honest, for me at least, has never fit. Either the nose was too big, ears was popping out, forehead was somewhere. It just looked unsettled. And I think if you're blessed to have the time on this planet, I think there's a place where perhaps, I know this is going to sound weird, but a lot of my stuff is weird anyway, so surprise, surprise. But I think there's a time in our life where even our face settles, provided that we allow it to. So I know a lot of people that do obviously dye their hair, whether it's their beard, male, female, whether it's their hair. And sometimes I go to local gatherings. I go to a mijlis, and people my age will go say, "Well, do something about that. You're too young. You're too young to have all of that white hair." And they genuinely mean that from their world. They genuinely are offering me advice. And I thank them for that because it's coming from a good place, I reckon. But the whole concept of aging and how society frowns upon, in many ways, just a very natural part of life. Now, I can't speak on behalf of women, obviously. The whole dyeing of hair for women is obviously a personal and a topic I only know through my relationship with my wife, who's also my age. But the concept of allowing yourself to age is a really interesting one, because we live in a day we live in a day and a time where anything related to aging is deemed inappropriate. It's like you need to stay young looking for as long as possible. And that explains why, and again, I can only speak on my part of the Arab world where I'm in Dubai. That explains why we have a lot of plastic surgeons in town. And I'm not talking about the plastic surgeons that are there to help people recover from an accident, or to reconstruct something that is been hideously damaged by an unfortunate incident. I'm talking about the kind of plastic surgery that does have an element, at least a psychological element, of prolonging the concept of looking young, whether it's foreheads, whether it's making things tighter, bigger, smaller, whatever the question may be. It's an attempt to stay young forever. And there's a price to pay for that. And the price is very high. Because when we think about it, everything in nature has its seasons. It can't be summer all the time. It can't be spring all the time. We genuinely appreciate spring when we get to it through the cycle of the different seasons. And different seasons have different components of beauty and different meaning and different detail. And it's when you string them together that it makes a lot of sense. And such is, at least the way I see it, such is the journey of life. Your childhood is your childhood. You grow into your teenage years, the 20s, you get into your mid-20s, your 30s, and like I said, if you're lucky, you hit the other parts. And there's a time where you are no longer a youth, you are no longer young, and you go into some other chapter of your life that has equal and necessary requirements for yourself and for those around you. So it also got me thinking, not only in this day and age do we try, almost in a humorous way, because you can spot them from a mile away, people that dye their hair constantly or dye their features. It just looks odd. It does look fake. And again, I'm not judging. If it works for you, it works for you. I wish you well with it. But if you take it a step further, it's actually quite a naive, pardon it, this may sound a little harsh, but the series is called Daggers and Pearls, so you can't expect not to get some daggers from me. But the whole concept to me is, it is a naive attempt to ignore death. You're trying to stay young forever. You're trying to live forever in that sense. And that is the complete contrary to the agreement we all agreed upon. By merit of being born, we all signed the contract, one way or another. Doesn't matter what race, religion, background that you have. You cannot deny this. You are born with the condition that you will die. Birth and death. Two agreements we've all made. If you're here, then you will go through a death. And to pretend that death isn't anywhere near is a blatant rejection of the very value and uniqueness of life. And let's just face it, even the best of us forget that death exists and doesn't want. It's very morbid. It's a very morbid topic. It's deemed, apparently our task now in this modern day and age is to ignore it, don't speak about it, and push it as far back as possible in your life. Handle it if you're lucky enough to get to an age where that is an issue. Until then, die young. And I think we rob ourselves from a tremendous amount of beauty, appreciation. We gather a ridiculous amount of anxiety, pressure, negativity in trying to ignore a fact that none of us can deny. When we're trying to dye our hair and look young and get this operation or that operation and really ignore the whole concept of death, and we're cheating ourselves in essence. I mean, that's how I see it. But if we embrace it and just let go of the fact that let go of the thought that it's wrong to age. Let go of the thought that you're not more beautiful as you grow older. I mean, I hope I don't sound naive, but I personally think I look much better now than I did when I was younger. I was completely lost in so many ways. But now, I mean, I've still got a long way to go, trust me. But I'm more settled now, man. I'm not so anxious, and when I do get anxious, I recover a little quicker. I'm happy with this age. I'm so blessed with this age. When I see youngins, early 20s, what I call the fiery years, where everything is on fire, thoughts are on fire, your resting is fire, you just don't know what too much is. And I guess that's your job at 20 or early 20s. Your job is to find out what those limits are. But if you allow yourself to go through that and settle into something different, then there comes with that a tremendous amount of wisdom, peace, and acceptance. And I think when we accept the fact that we will grow old and enjoy the process, let it happen. I know of a person in my family who, and she's female, I don't have her permission to mention who she is, otherwise I would have. But let's just say this person spent many, many, many years dyeing her hair. Every single wedding, it was, pitch black, and it takes a considerable amount. I don't know the process, but with hair, I imagine it takes some time and some effort and so on. But she just got to a stage where she's like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do it anymore. It's such a hassle. It is, and it gives me a headache. And yeah, I'm just not gonna do it anymore. And she just let what was naturally there all along to emerge. And it is my humble opinion that this individual, although she was beautiful before, was 10 times more beautiful with that hair. Everything just I can't explain it, but natural beauty is natural beauty. You can construct it all you want, but nature is a masterpiece. Everything else is a copy, a cheap copy, a really cheap copy. I mean, even copies have standards. This is a standard that is embarrassingly low. And to deny yourself that, or to insist upon a cheap version of yourself and not the natural masterpiece that you are, whether it's physical or spiritual, is something I think we should all think of. I'm coming up close to my limit with the posts on Instagram, but my advice to myself and to everyone is just to accept the fact that we are going to die, appreciate the fact that we're not here forever, and grow old and wise gracefully. Enjoy it, and check where else in your life are you allowing society's unbalanced, unfair, unhealthy expectation to dictate what's happening to you. Where else in your life is society appearing to make you do things that are against your own health? Those are places I would invite you to investigate, invite you to get really curious about. And I wish you all wisdom. I wish you all a brilliant time growing into the wonderful masterpieces that you are. And hope to see you very, very soon with another topic. Maybe sooner than you think. God bless. See you very soon, inshallah.